Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Dr. Stone Season 1, Episode 19. So, we had Hyoga show up, a part of Tsukasa's group, and he ended up losing. We got katanas, and through some trickery with Gen, we managed to break Hyoga's weapon, which we might have lost against even with katanas if they didn't do that, but luckily Senku was a step ahead, and they concocted that plan. But now Gen is known to be a traitor to Tsukasa's camp. Assuming these guys, I imagine they're gonna live and get back to him. I can't see our characters killing him in cold blood, so they don't get that message back. But we'll see. And yeah, I talked last episode in the discussion about how I feel like they're gonna have to move quick. Like Tsukasa's empire is gonna have to move very quickly because if they don't, I feel like it's not going to end well for them if Senku has enough time to rebuild. So we'll see how it all goes down in this episode. We're going to start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Tsukasa. Oh, they're back. Okay. Oh, Gen's even back. Wait. Oh, is this before? This is when Hyoga got woken up, isn't it? Oh, she's even specifically looking for this guy. For Hyoga. Jeez. What a thing to hear. Why did that guy choose that hairstyle? Does he have his weapon prepped for him already? Can he fight without the weapon? Yeah. Bodied. Man, it's crazy that this guy, mastered this weapon in the modern world. And I know there's plenty of people that do that kind of thing, but it's the idea that he can suddenly use those skills is kind of an interesting thought. Alright. We're gonna get to see this a little more? That's cool. We haven't got to see a whole lot of it. Is this a knockdown building? That's got, stone around it, or no? Doesn't that look like it could be, or is that just, did they just build rooms out of stone? Hmm. She has, a little bit of stone left on her. I think. Is that what that is on her head? I guess. I feel like... I don't know. I'll talk about it in the discussion. Jeez. It is very unfortunate. Superhuman. I like how they referred it to that, because it pretty much is ability to understand science. Hmm. We shall run away for now. Alright, cool. Now we're into the opening. Yeah, I mean, I can sort of relate to Tsukasa's case, and I know he said it in the beginning of the show too. But I want to talk about it more in the discussion. I don't have time to get into it during the opening here, but I definitely have some stuff to say in regards to the idea of like rich people just owning like every square inch of the planet pretty much being owned and everything. We didn't get to see even a glimpse of Taiju and Yuzuriha. I remembered her name that time with only a slight hesitation. I'm getting it, baby. If she comes back in the story more and I get to talk about her more, I think it's just when I go weeks and weeks without even mentioning her name, it's where like I start to kind of forget. You gotta remember, I watch these one a week, so it's been 8 and 19 weeks since the start of the show for me at this point. Run for it! And dirty betrayal. Is he gonna try to infiltrate? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Damn! Burning some stuff down. Well, shit. Who are you, crazy looking chick or dude it thing? Don't know who you are. very dramatic. Homura. Well, damn. Like a gymnast or something before? That sucks. Yeah. Shit. Saved him just in time. I wonder if they burned that down too. They must know about that science shed now by this point. Unless it's just off in a direction. Gotta get them off the island somehow too, right? They're just stuck over there. Oh, okay, they are here. They're just lurking right there behind, like, the first tree. Yeah, they really don't have the manpower for the, like, in comparison. Oh, she's just back again. She's just lighting fires everywhere. Don't get hurt, Suika. Run away! These fools. So they're gonna go after her too? No, Suika. If the two strong people go after her, I'm worried. Oh, they're getting water for the fire, I see. Ah. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Yep. Damn, the wind's blowing the gases down. How do you know? Damn, proficient anime characters. Are these guys dead? Damn. His face. Just thinking they have biological weapons. Well, convenient. Oh shit. Just gonna use them as dummies? Yep. Knock one of them off. Oh my god. You should save some. That damn Mother Nature. Should have done one at a time so that way you could test. Hmm. Okay, they managed to get off the island, I guess, without the bridge. That's what I figured they were gonna have to do. Alright, Senku. He's smiling, he's got a plan. Already rebuilding, nice. We gotta get some science going. Ah. Okay, are they gonna try to revive people? Hmm. Yeah. Oh shit. Really? Okay. Both sides want to strike first. Strike quickly. But they're gonna try to build up a big army first, right? They're probably gonna take more time to organize. Oh shit. What's he gonna make? Death Star! Nukes! Communication technology. Nice. Okay. No, what are those? Get in space. These guys. Definitely sorcery. There's like the people that have a hard time believing it, and the people that are just excited to see how it'll work. Hmm. I like how they have to like explain to us why. I know that it's explaining to them too, but why like communication and I've already taken care of that. Taiju! Hell yeah. Yeah. I've been waiting for them. Yep. Be nice to have, huh? Yep, I remember them talking about them. I don't know if it's gonna be a smartphone. That'd be kind of insane. But at least a way to communicate. Yeah, I was gonna say. Get us another flowchart of what we need. Jeez, circuit boards, batteries. Man, how are you gonna strike first by making... Damn. Alright, I mean, hey. If he thinks he can do it, I believe in Senku. But these guys are gonna be moving pretty quick, I feel like, so... Do they have the time? Yeah, now he knows. Oh, look at that face. Angry boy. Okay. Cool. Once again, when faced with, you know, the choice of what to create, he goes for communication, which, don't get me wrong, I completely agree with him, is very important and all that, but like, instead of going for like any kind of like heavy weaponry, like, hell, I feel like it would be relatively easy for Senku to figure out how to weaponize that gas, right? If he really wanted to. Even a simple thing like having beakers where you have it in and you just throw it in there, like, and just throw it at people or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong and it can't be weaponized that way. But rather than doing that, he chooses to go for communication. So I like that his first instinct isn't to just try to make the most deadly thing he can to kill as many people as possible. It seems like he's still trying to, like, preserve life a bit, right? But yeah, very cool. I mean, props. I didn't give the guys enough credit, Hyoga and them. I didn't think that they had like a plan to get onto the island. For one, they were fighting right in front of the bridge, which, I mean, I guess someone could just climb up the side of the rock to get up there to the village. So I thought, you know, that was going to be like, that was it. They were protected, but they got behind there and lit everything on fire. That is it, guys, for episode 19. But yeah, so props to them for coming up with that plan, just being a distraction and everything, and burning down the village, getting them isolated. If it wasn't for the gas, their plan was to take someone I guess it was their plan. I laughed at the guys because I thought they were like the fools for, you know, I thought Hyogo was going to have a different idea, and they were like, oh yeah, we just take someone hostage, but it seems like that was the goal. and since Suika acted as bait, they were like, oh, it'll be easiest to take her and try to force the village to surrender, and based off that. So, uh, but didn't go to plan because of the gas and all that. Luckily, that worked out for them. But it also did prove to Hyoga that their gas masks work, right? It wasn't because those guys died when they knocked them down there. They know that the gas really did exist down there, and that they were just walking through it fine. So they know, it seems like they knew the gunpowder and stuff wasn't real, but at the very least, the gas masks are. So, now, in regards to Tsukasa talking to the people, now, don't get me wrong, we've known this since the beginning, since Tsukasa first showed up and talked the way that he did about, like, rich people owning everything, but I want to talk about it a bit more. I don't remember how much I said in those episodes, but there is a small part of me that agrees with Tsukasa, but there's also a part of me, like a bigger part of me, that disagrees. I definitely think I would be Team Science, and not just because of Senku is the main character and I like him more than I like Tsukasa. It has nothing to do with that. Like, I do hate the idea that our whole planet is owned by people, like that one girl talking about having to, like, slave your life away to barely be able to pay rent and stuff like that. It's like, it is... I have thought before that I feel like this is a shitty system that we live in, right? Like, I feel like if we could pool our resources as humans and not just as a means of trying to make rich people richer, we could abolish all that. Like, I mean, I guess the problem is like, there are issues with it, but the idea that I feel like the work, like the way that we have to work like 40 hours a week to barely make ends meet, I feel like there is a better system out there. It's just the greed of humans is too much to allow that system to be fixed and changed at all. But the problem is everyone can't just not work, because you need, in order to have modern civilization, you need workers to work on things in order to have things, right? And if everyone is just given everything they need to survive, then no one has a reason to work, and then all those places that exist just go out of business and everything. So, like, it is a complex topic and everything, but I guess I'm just firmly on the side of, like, a universal basic income, giving people enough money to be able to have a roof over their head and to be able to have food. That's what I feel like every person should have access to, in my opinion. Now, if you want more than that, if you want to buy video games, if you want a fancy car or a bigger house, or you want to go out drinking at bars every night, or, like, you want to go to the movies, you want to go to football games, baseball games, like, stuff like that, that's where you need to have a job and you work, and, depending on your needs, you could work a 10-hour-a-week job, and maybe that gets you enough money to satiate those needs of yours rather than slaving your whole life away. Or if you're someone that wants more from life, then you could work 40 hours, you're still getting the universal basic income, so your home is free. Well, I guess, like, to an extent. Obviously, you can't just have a mansion, right? Like, but have that, like, try to fit those basic needs, and then if you want more, you can work more for it, right? So, I don't know, that's what I, like, have believed in. And then there's also other times where I've thought to myself where I'm like, it does stink that just, like, every part of the planet is just owned by someone. Like, it sucks. And, I mean, I know they don't do it for this reason, but even, like, the exploration side of things, like, don't get me wrong, I'm a fat nerd that likes to sit here and play video games, but when I watch all these shows about, like, discovery and exploring and, and playing games about that too, I love, like, seeing new areas and stuff like that in games. It makes me wish there was, like, parts of the planet where you could go and, like, explore where it isn't just inhabited already, right? So, but I also agree with the whole, like, rich people owning everything too. It does it does just suck that it all just comes down to money and everything. So in that regard, I agree with Tsukasa. I think that our current system is absolute shit. Like it's developed into a, I mean, it's been a shitty system for a long time, in my opinion. But at the same time, I am a fat nerd that loves eating food and playing video games. So I, the way I am right now, would not like the Tsukasa's empire, because I like that girl's just sitting there like laying there on a cot and being like, yeah, I don't have to do shit anymore. And like people are like going off hunting, like I don't want to do that shit, you know? Like that's not what I want to do. So it's like I'd be more on Kingdom of Science, where I want these things to, these distractions, these things to kill time with and stuff like that. I don't want to just like sit there and, you know, and I'm not much of a talker either. Like sure, I sit here and I talk about these shows and everything, um but when it comes to just like chatting with people in real life about, oh, the weather or sports or, you know, all those normal things you're supposed to talk about, I could care less. Like, so it's like what, like I would be very bored in the Tsukasa Empire. So I'm definitely leaning more towards Team Science, because I'd want to, hopefully within my lifetime, maybe get video games and stuff like that back. Who knows? I mean, I don't know if that would be possible. I don't know, because like I guess it would be a lot, because for one, you would have to rebuild enough to have like the, you know, sustainable electricity to be able to then even start to develop computers again or consoles or anything. And then you would also need the people that would work on the games to be able to do that. Now granted, you could just remove people from Stone that were once game designers, right, and they could just do it again and like rebuild all of that. But there's so much infrastructure, there's so much software involved in that, where like you would probably also have to rebuild the software that is used to build games and everything. So I don't know. It could happen with like enough spark. Like if Senku could do enough in this world, like develop enough, then maybe within like 20 years or something, maybe video games could really start to like pump out again. But I'm just bullshitting numbers at this point, because I really have no idea. I also don't know. I mean, hell, the fact that now I know it's not going to be a smartphone. They're just trying to come up with like some basic long range communication. But in their little flowchart, I don't know how realistic it is, but we saw like a car battery and we saw like circuit boards and stuff like that. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see what they come up with in this short time. And obviously, I don't think it's going to look exactly like that. And then they showed the end result being like what looked like a smartphone was just like a little phone symbol on it. Once again, I don't think we're going to have anything remotely close to that. Like, it's definitely going to be like a kind of like how their gas masks are like these like bamboo tubes with some like glass on it and stuff like that, right? It's not like our modern fancy gas masks. I imagine it's going to be something like that for the phone, but I'm really interested to learn like how quickly he's able to develop this, because they already know that their best plan is to pool an army and attack. So I don't know how long it's going to take them to pool that army. We don't know how many people they already have removed from Stone. Do they have to take the time to remove the people from Stone? How long do they have? And Senku wants to attack first. So it's like, if that's the case, you need to build these communication devices and get in a situation where you can attack before they build an army and march to you. So I'm curious to see how it goes. It's definitely going to be interesting. I know I say this every episode that we have Tsukasa stuff. I'm already kind of missing just the fun, casual, like, science stuff. So I do hope, like, I am, like, in a way looking forward to finishing the Tsukasa stuff to get to that. But either way, this is pretty entertaining too, and it was cool seeing Hyoga get broke out. It was cool seeing more of Tsukasa's empire. Like I said, it almost looked like a toppled skyscraper they had there, but I think it was just, like, little huts they had built out of a rock, because there's no, like, I don't think there's any real, like, buildings left or anything. Like, I wanted to go look at it. I guess I can go look at it again. It was roughly near the, yeah, it was right around this point, I think. Um, yeah, it looks like just out of a hill is like a bunch of like holes, right? Although they look super slanted. That look, or maybe it's the camera angle. It might be our camera angle that we have because they have a bridge that they're walking across like normal. Um, so I don't think it's actually as angled as it looks in that. But but yeah, it looks like they just carved out of stone like little like sections for people and stuff like that, I suppose. But at first, I thought it looked kind of like the windows of like a skyscraper, right? So I thought they like managed to repurpose that, but it was all like covered over and everything. But no, there's no way. So anyway, I just wanted to look at that again. But yeah. Anyway, I'm looking forward to more. Looking forward to seeing like how many episodes does it take to get these communication devices? Do we speed run through it next episode and have them? Do we take a couple episodes and build up towards the finale with this? And I still wonder. I say this a bunch of episodes as well. I've said this where is Tsukasa gonna be the like? Is this season gonna be the end of Tsukasa? And what does that look like? Because I can't picture our characters like actively killing people, right? Like I can't imagine massacring majority of that kingdom. So it's like, how do you stop Tsukasa if you don't kill him? And I can't imagine that man would ever just admit defeat. So maybe they can somehow build a prison for him and lock him up. And if that's the case, like maybe you could use him again in the future if there's any other kind of threat out there. Because I mean, the thing is now with Tsukasa doing his thing, we have no idea how many people he released. We have no idea if every person he released stayed with Tsukasa. Like, there could be people that got away from, like, Tsukasa brought them back, and then they just ran off, right? Which means, and if they figured out the way to make the release, then they could be releasing people, right? Assuming that they find the same components that they did, that, the nitric acid from that cave that they use. I guess he also mentioned that there's another, like, there's the other way that takes a while. So I'm just thinking, like, for future seasons that don't involve Tsukasa, there could be other characters that are just out there doing their own thing right now that we just don't even know about because Tsukasa released them. So it could be interesting. I'm really excited for the future of this show and seeing where we go with it. So yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more. Link is in the description below. Should be popping up on the screen. I guess I also, just real quick, I don't know if I actually said it, but when I mentioned imprisoning Tsukasa, I meant, like, he could help with, like, he could be someone later on where we're like, this guy's risking us all. He wants to kill all of humanity. That includes you, so why don't you come out and help us fight? And then take him out of prison, and then he can be a part of a future season, helping us with like a different bad guy or something like that. I don't know, just a theory, but I don't think I finished what I was saying when I mentioned the prison thing. But anyway, yeah, so that's it. Thank you guys so much. As I said, link in the description to Patreon and all that extra stuff. 2 episodes ahead on there through early access tier should be popping up on the screen. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in my future reactions. Bye bye.